Bienvenidos. Welcome to episode 170 of the
Wow.
Narcissistic Music Disorder.
Oh man, 170. Normally I'm saying good morning to you, Scott, but we're recording on a different time of day, so I'm gonna say good evening to you. How's everything been?
Not too bad. Four
Uh,
days left till I start vacation, so
Dude, you are counting down too, aren't you? I
oh
can
man,
totally tell.
I'm
Yeah.
ready for it.
Good. Good. How long's vacation? A week?
A week, yep.
And what's that hold for a guy like you? A lot of jazz listening?
Yep,
You-
staycation mostly. We're gonna go to some antique stores and
Cool.
things like that. Yeah, do some stuff around the house.
Nice, nice. Which is nowadays that's relaxation for us, right? It's like, hey,
Absolutely.
I got a
Mhm.
break, so I'm gonna make sure I build those shelves I've been wanting to fill for whatever.
Absolutely.
Go get my obscure jazz records. All right. So, Scott, what's today's theme, man?
Today we're picking five favorite side twos.
All right.
And we're joined today by my cousin Joe Grimley, who is responsible for probably 85-90% of the jazz I listen to.
Wow.
He had a show in Greensboro, North Carolina that he did on the radio for I don't know how many years did you do that,
It's a
Joe?
couple of years.
Okay.
Wow. Cool.
And I listened I think it was on Mondays, wasn't it?
Yep, it was
Yep.
Monday night.
So,
And
how are you listening, Scott? I mean,
I was listening on my laptop.
oh,
Yeah, it
really?
was.
Oh, so this has been fairly, I mean, you hosted this show somewhat recently. I mean, if you had a laptop.
It was 2013 to 15. I was in North Carolina.
Okay.
Um, it was University of North Carolina, Greensboro, which was the home of the Miles Davis Jazz Studies program.
Oh, wow.
So I moved
Wow.
down there. I went and saw the trumpet that Miles Davis used
Oh, my
on
God.
Kind Blue is in a glass case in the music building.
Cool.
Wow.
And a couple days later, I hear this ad on the radio on the station. The college station says we're having a DJ meeting. Our usual DJs were looking for new ones. You don't have to be a student, just a knowledgeable music person in the community. I go in there. Long story short, I ask if there's a jazz show on the station, and they go no. And the outgoing program director, he was about 35, 36. He'd been there, as a student, and he was an owner of a record store. And I said to him, has there ever been a jazz show on the station? He goes, as far as I know, in the last 20 years, it's not. So I don't think there was ever a jazz show
Wow.
on the station that was the home of the Miles Davis Jazz Studies.
Wow.
So I named it Jazzboro. For a few months, I didn't have a name. I just called it Monday Night Jazz, because I wanted to get a good name. I like Greensboro, Jazzboro. Then I let
Yeah.
my a lot of friends back home and music lovers like my cuz know how to stream it. So it was cool. I would usually have, a handful of friends and relatives in different places listening in as well.
Wow. That's awesome. So
They're
you're a jazzer, you're a jazz cat.
Yeah, I like jazz a lot. I mean, I grew up on, I'm older than you guys, so I grew up on classic rock. I mean,
Sure.
I saw Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers open for Bebop Deluxe
Oh, wow. Cool.
when we barely knew who Bebop Deluxe was, and certainly didn't know who Tom. I saw
Right.
Tom Petty was. I saw Patti Smith on the Horses tour
Oh, my God. Wow.
in Detroit. I was going to Wayne State at the time. I was a freshman, and a buddy of mine went and saw her at Ford Auditorium, which no longer exists.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I grew up on classic rock, and then
Yeah.
it took a while. I was late 30s, early 40s before I really started getting into jazz. I tried it a couple times and didn't like it. And then eventually I kept trying, and it just like a light bulb went on. And then I
It's
kind of went
like pot. Jazz is like pot. Those first couple times, you're
and then I
probably
went,
not going to get anything
and
from
then
it,
I went
man.
crazy.
And then before you know it, you've lost your job because you're stuck to the couch. It's
Yeah.
jazz, man. It's jazz.
Yeah, before you know it, you've got 500 jazz CDs and
Right.
1,000 jazz records, and yeah,
You've alienated friends and family
yeah,
members, and
yeah,
you're using the jazz, and people are probably like, well,
yeah.
we don't see
Well,
him much anymore. He's on the jazz.
yeah. Well, interestingly enough, I don't have any jazz records in my pile tonight because jazz for me isn't the kind of thing where I go, oh yeah, I'm going to put on side 2 of the Sonny Rollins record. It's
Right.
so, I mean, I either like the whole record and I'm going to play it, or, if I'm DJing, I'm going to slap on a particular track.
Right.
But,
Right.
So I want to let the cat out of the bag early. I don't have any jazz records in my top 5.
Well, don't worry. Your cousin's here. Don't worry.
Know.
Yeah.
I figured he might pick up the slack.
Of course, he'll pick it up for both of us, I'm sure. So, without any further ado, Joe, what's your first side? And have we even, Scott? Did we introduce the show? I mean, obviously, we're talking. We're doing side 2s, right?
Yeah, we did. Yep.
Yeah, we did cover that. Good. Okay.
Yep.
So Joe's going to kick us off. What's the first album side 2?
Are we going round robin, or I'm doing all?
Yeah, round robin.
We'll go round robin.
Okay, I'm going to go. It's something. This was an interesting task that Scott gave me. This was both very difficult, and as I started getting into it, it became a little easier because I thought I would drive myself insane. It's like any list. So you're limited to 5.
Right.
That could change. The usual caveats. It could change tomorrow.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All that stuff. And then I started thinking, after I picked out 5 great ones, I thought, I'm not going to keep going because I'm going to drive myself absolutely bonkers.
I don't need a list of 100. Do I?
like the middle of last week, do I want to spend another 15 hours on this?
Yeah, right.
I mean, my opinion's my opinion, whether I pick crap stuff or not. But I'm going with something pretty obvious. But the Who's next? Side 2.
Yep.
So the Who are probably, my tastes have changed a lot over the years, but the Who, if I had to pick one band that's my all-time favorite band, it would be the Who. The first band to really, really hit me in the gut, really affect me emotionally.
Great album too.
And I probably listened to Quadrophenia more than this.
Okay.
Quadrophenia is probably the record I've listened to the most in my life, just in that 2 or 3 years in high school. And, I had 7 records in my parents' basement, and on the console, I played it a lot. But anyways, Who's Next? Side 2, Getting in Tune.
Yep.
Which is, of course, one of the songs. I guess all of these on side 2 should have been part of Lifehouse, but Getting in Tune, great love song. Or as Daltrey once said, I think about this song, even when we play a love song, it feels like the Who's punching you right in the nose.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said something like that. So Getting into Going Mobile.
Oh yeah.
I love Townsend's voice. So
Yep.
Townsend sings lead here. Behind Blue Eyes and Won't Get Fooled Again.
Oh.
So that's a pretty big side 2, man.
That's hard to top.
So tell me, side 1, just to Bob O'Reilly in there somewhere, Squeeze Box maybe.
Yeah, no, Squeeze Box is way later. Squeeze Box is Who by Numbers. So,
but Bob O'Reilly,
Bargain, Love Ain't for Keeping, My Wife, and Song Is Over. So
the whole album is killer.
Too, although I gotta say, in retrospect, My Wife kind of fits in here, but it's clearly, the Entwistle Tune is clearly, to me, the weakest song on the record. Mm-hmm. It's good, but it can't compare to anything else.
God, it's a great side 2.
Yeah, but side 2 is Behind Blue Eyes and Won't Get Fooled Again and Getting It. Yeah. So one of my favorite side 2s.
Wow, that's great. Wow, what an opener. How about you, Scott? What you got?
AC/DC, Power Age, side 2.
All right. What do you got?
Sin City, What's Next to the Moon, Gone Shooting, Up to My Neck and You, and Kicked in the Teeth. Dude.
That's pretty good.
It's my favorite AC/DC record overall, and side 2 is just top notch.
Scott, where does that fit in their discography? What album was that of theirs?
It's gotta be. It's Bon. It's Bon Scott. So it's what?
It's 80? 78. It's 78. Yeah.
So it's probably right before Highway to Hell, I would think.
Yes. Yep.
Which was 79, I think. That's a great album, by the way.
So I want to make you guys jealous again. I saw AC/DC with Bon Scott open for Thin Lizzy.
Oh God!
In Royal Oak in 1978.
Wow!
And I got to say, my ears are still ringing.
Yeah,
because it It was like fifth row center at the Royal Oak Theater.
Wow.
That's a great
And I
That's
place.
killer.
remember Bonds, and I was a casual fan of AC/DC. But I can remember, like, I remember Bon Scott strutting around like it was yesterday, 20 feet away or whatever. It was crazy.
Right. Oh man, that's killer. All right. Well, I'm gonna kick us off, Scott. This is rare for us. I too have picked an AC/DC album,
All right.
but I'm gonna go later and I'm gonna rattle. This is side 2 of this album. Okay.
Okay.
Songs include on side 2 of said album, You Shook Me All Night Long, Have a Drink on Me, Shake a Leg, Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution, and Back in Black. That's side 2 of Back in Black.
Goodness.
That's incredible.
I mean, when you think about that, and I don't know, we were talking before Joe got here and before we started recording. I don't know like how things like that are picked. Like you would think Back in Black, the title track's going to be on your first side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's the opener of side 2.
Man.
And I gotta think it was the single, like the first song that I think it was the first Brian Johnson single.
Yeah.
But the thing that got me was, the Bon era had singles, but not like this. By 80, singles now are the big, you gotta have, they're starting to get that radio, where radio picks up Back in Black and You Shook Me All Night Long. And I mean, they're still playing like Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution. That's still played live. And of course, they got to play You Shook Me All Night Long and Back in Black. And yeah, I was really marveled at that was a side 2. Like if you were one of those, and I don't know if this happened, and I had vinyl records as a kid, of course, the first kind of medium I had of music, but I don't know if instinctually you pulled it out. I don't remember if I looked and went, well, you got to listen to side A first. Like, I don't know if I can't remember.
Right.
But obviously that was, I used to, and I'm sure we all did, especially with the show, where you would think like, why is this song, like side 2 was this no man's land. Like, why is this song on side 2? Should be on side 1. But yeah, I thought that was a pretty impressive lineup for a side 2 of Back in Black. Joe, what do you got next?
So, and tried to mix this with, obvious and not so obvious. So most of the rest of my stuff is not going to be not so obvious. It is a record by Deer Hunter.
Oh,
yeah.
You guys know this record?
I do not.
I don't.
I know the band.
Yeah.
So this is this is really weird because the title. I'm just having a middle-aged moment here because the title of the record's not on the front at all. Oh yeah, Halcyon Digest.
Okay.
So this guy Brandon Cox, and I'm not a huge fan of Deer Hunter, but there's this one guy, Brandon Cox. He's like 6'7" or something. He's like the guy with the little rotating cast of characters, and I was in a record store. This came out in 2010. By the way, it's got to be one of the ugliest record covers I've ever seen.
I mean, really tried to piece it together.
If they had done anything except this would have been one of the greatest albums of all time. But this knocks it down a couple notches. But I was in a record store here in Royal Oak and just starting to get back into vinyl. And one of the guys in the record store, I knew these guys both pretty well, put this on. I didn't know what it was. And it got through side 1. And I said, what the heck is that? He goes, oh, it's Deer Hunter. Puts on side 2. And I bought a copy before I walked out.
Yeah.
So
killer.
The guy I've tried to listen to some of their other stuff. There was one shortly after this. I don't know if it was the next record or within the next couple of years, 2-3 years. It's called Monomania. And that was a good one too. I almost bought that on vinyl, but I didn't. But side 2 on this, if you guys aren't familiar with it, go check it out on Spotify or something. It's pretty interesting.
Can I press you to give a descriptor? If I hate to do that to you, yeah, I know.
It's so hard because the songs on this side sound like it starts and ends in the same way, but in the middle, there's 5 songs. The third and fourth songs are really much more straight ahead, melodic, indie kind of rock.
Cool.
Okay.
So I'm not even gonna I'm gonna hesitate even giving any kind of adjectives. Just say, if anybody's listening, if they're familiar with it, listen to it again. If they haven't listened to it, check it out. I would be surprised, knowing Scott's varied taste, I would be surprised if he didn't at least kind of like.
I don't think you've steered him wrong yet.
And I have very narrow tastes, really narrow taste compared to most music junkies, because I have to have melody.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is pretty melodic.
Cool.
I think you guys like it.
I wrote it down. Scott, what you got next?
Miles Davis, kind of
there
blue.
It is. There it is.
Side 2, huh?
All blues and flamenco sketches. Flamenco Sketches is my favorite instrumental song of all time.
Oh, wow.
And it's not my favorite Miles record. I'm very fatigued by So What. It's like I Want You to Want Me. I don't really need to hear it anymore. I've had enough. But Flamenco Sketches and All Blues are just that. Yeah, side 2 gets wore
interesting.
Out. Yeah,
that's really interesting, because I'm a big Miles fan. It might be, I can't say it's not my favorite Miles record. Like late at night, if I feel like listening to Miles, that's going to be one of my go-to.
My go-to is 58 Miles. So
that's a good one too.
Right before this one.
On the other hand, I don't get it's weird. I get sick of a lot of songs easily. There's a handful of songs I just never get tired of. And I don't listen to the radio much, so I don't hear it, but I never get tired of Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I hear that song and I go, shit, man.
It's still great.
I go, I can't get tired of that song.
No.
So What? I just don't get tired of it either. And then you got Freddie Freeloader right behind it. So
yeah.
But great pick, because a lot of people say that about Flamenco Sketches. Flamenco Sketches has this kind of hallowed place with jazz people, especially jazz musicians.
It's so great.
Wow, that's
all
a big
blues,
statement.
all
favorite
blues.
instrumental. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What a vibe!
What a great. Just the band too is just outstanding with Bill Evans on there. Oh.
Yep.
Oh, all right. I knew you'd jazz it up. I knew it. And of course, my son is a jazzer. He's taking the jazz too. He's using the jazz. So I'm warming up. I'm totally warming up. I swear to God. And he's helping me for sure. My next pick is a fantastic rock and roll album. There's one song. Let me make sure. Yeah, there's one song that I think wasn't kind of a quote unquote single, and this is back in the day, but it's side 2 of Creedence Clearwater Revival's Cosmos Factory.
Oh, you know what? Man. You know what, John?
What?
That was in the handful of other ones. That was in my top 12 or 15 records that I had in my hand.
It's a pretty impressive side 2 with Up Around the Bend, My Baby Left Me, Who'll Stop the Rain, Heard It Through the Grapevine, and one of my favorite, I think, a criminally underrated CCR song, Long As I Can See the Light.
Oh man.
Up around the Bend's my favorite Creedence song.
I just heard it on the radio today, and it's funny. I heard it on the radio today, and that opening guitar line, of course, it sounded as nasty and as raw and rock and roll as anything, Jack White or Beck or any of these guys. It was just like, oh my God, man. It was.
Yep. Yeah. That's a great choice.
It's such and Who'll Stop the Rain is always, I mean, from a musician standpoint, it's always a crowd pleaser. CCR in general. I mean, people just love CCR. I do too. I just have been a fan forever. And they're one of those bands like, my dad and I certainly never had similar music tastes. He liked old country and I got that through him. But like even my dad was cool about CCR. And my dad would typically, the Beatles or anything like that was hippie music to my dad, and he didn't like it. But
yeah.
CCR, you just can't. You simply can't. You can't find a lot of fault in those
Right.
songs and that songwriting and that voice and just the whole persona of Creedence Clearwater Revival for me. I mean, I feel like I was adult age when I finally realized that like they didn't grow up in the Delta. I thought
Yeah.
they were literally lived in a shack in a swamp that they
Right.
took an airboat to or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was mine. What do you got next, Joe?
I'm going to go, and I already blabbed this one to Scott. I'll do a local record. And Scott wildly knew this. This is Conspiracy of Owls. It's by some guys that were primarily in the Go. I think
Okay.
this is just a one-off record, but it's still the main guys in the band. And my gosh, all the songs on side 2 are great, but there's two in particular. One's called 3. It sounds like Beach Boys on after they chugged a gallon of Red Bull, but just so good, so melodic, so cool. And then the last one, Silver Song, is just kind of epic, different stages, sort of, of up and down. It's sort of a ballad, but then a guitar solo about 2/3 of the way through is just off the hook. Like let's say you're listening to the Carpenters, Goodbye to Love. The guitar solo in that.
I think I do. I could almost tell you. I feel like I could tell you who played it, but anyhow.
Yeah, it was some session musician.
Yes, yeah.
And Richard Carpenter was allegedly sitting off to the side going, "Get it, baby, go for it."
Yeah,
but just a very cool record. I like this as well as any of the Go stuff that I've heard. Conspiracy of Owls side 2. The songs are Let the Sirens Go, No Hero. 3 is the Beach Boys jam, The New Me, and then the epic Silver Song lasts about 6 minutes, and that's the last track.
Nice.
So, Conspiracy.
Yeah, they're kind of like spacey, psychedelic.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
But again, very, very melodic.
Right. Yeah. That's the problem with some spacey, quote unquote, it's meandering to nowhere. Right. If it's got melody, then I can stay with it. Right. I can.
Yeah.
And that's always been that's my old man shaking my fist at, a lot of these hippie jam bands. It's like, come on, dude, this is going nowhere. And there's no hook to it. You're just out there, drifting around this chord progression. So I'm with you, Joe. I like the melody will keep me hooked and keep me engaged and almost give me an anchor so I don't drift away in the psychedelicness of it all. Yeah, good one. What do you got next, Scott?
Hair of the Dog from Nazareth.
Oh, there it is, dude. There it is. That's a big album for me, Scott.
Beggar's Day, Rose in the Heather, Whiskey Drinking Woman, my all-time favorite Nazareth song, and Please Don't Judas Me.
Oh, yeah.
That's been covered. The slow, like really low start. You're like, is this playing another song? And
that for me, that I can tell you, Scott, that was an Uncle Ricky album.
Yeah.
My Uncle Rick was super into Nazareth. I remember coming over and playing.
Love Hurts. Love Hurts is on side 1. I'm fatigued by that song as well.
Yeah, I can see it. But when you
it's the best version in my opinion, because I like Graham's, but just I'm fatigued by the song.
So I've done Graham and Emmy Lou. Ashley and I did that. We tried Love Hurts, the Nazareth version recently, like in a band. And I will say this, that vocal is something else, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an amazing vocal performance. And just
Dan's
great.
Vocals are
great. And that was a big album. Yeah, for sure. All right, moving on. I'm going to save those two. I'm going to go to this one. This came to me because I had it on vinyl as a kid. I listened to it constantly. I mean, a lot. It has one of my favorite songs by this band that not a lot of people mention as being their favorite. But this is the second side of Van Halen 2, the second Van Halen album. which is it starts with Light Up the Sky, then it's got Spanish Fly, which is Eddie's kind of acoustic thing, and then it goes into the song.
DOA.
That's my song. I think
Yeah.
DOA is one of Van Halen's greatest songs ever. Women in Love is on it. Great harmonies. It's why Michael Anthony is a genius. You can hear
Yeah.
it right away. And Beautiful Girls, which
Oh,
is
man.
another just
Oh yeah.
they're just at their, by Van Halen. My son and I
Yeah.
had a Saturday morning argument that I actually had to phone a friend on because my son was rattling. We were talking about Van Halen albums, and he said Van Halen 1 was better than Van Halen 2. He said Van Halen 1 was the best Van Halen album. We got into an argument.
Fair Warning is the best.
Dude, I sort of went that way too. I like Women and Children First. I'm a
Those
Van Halen
two.
fan.
Yeah.
There's some good stuff there, but just the thing about Van Halen 2 that I really, first on side 1, it starts with the cover. Starts with You're No Good.
Okay.
But by side 2 here, it's like Women in Love and Beautiful Girl. I mean, Beautiful Girls, I cannot believe has not been covered by like a beachy guy,
Right.
like a Kenny Chesney. You know how he's,
Oh, yeah.
No, that's a catchy song, man.
It's a catchy song, and that's part of the, I'm seaside sitting it's perfect for that. And we were talking about this because we played on the beach yesterday, and they were playing, like, of course, before we played beachy tunes, it was all Kenny Chesney. And I kind of said out loud, I go, man, I wonder if someone heard him do one beachy song and went, dude, this is who you're going to be from now on. Like Jimmy Buffett's gone. You're going to slide right in here. You're going to be the beach guy. You'll be the good times guy. And sure shit, man, he did it. And I maybe I'll send him a letter. I'm going to send him an email about Beautiful Girls. I'm sure he'll cover it.
Hey, John, I'm surprised that some rapper hasn't sampled Beautiful Girls.
Exactly. Well, yes. God, you're right. I mean, Van Halen music already lends itself.
When you quoted those lines in there, why wouldn't that would be seems like it would be no brainer.
You're right. Yeah. You're right.
Especially for some Miami rapper, you know what
I mean? Exactly. Yeah, I can hear that. I can totally hear that cadence. I was just
hey, maybe the three of us will get in the studio.
Well, yes, we should. We should cut that rap track. I've been waiting to rap. It's been a dream of mine for so long. Of course, there'd have to be curses in there for sure. We'll have to change that title. But yeah, Van Halen 2, side 2. What do you got next, Joe?
So I have Lucinda Williams.
Oh, gold.
So I'm a pretty big Lucinda Williams fan.
We are. She's the queen of this podcast.
Yeah. You're in the right place.
I didn't know that because no offense to you guys, I've not listened. I always tell Scott I'm going to listen to something. I've not listened to any podcasts in my life. I don't listen to anything. So Lucinda, of course, Car Wheels on a Gravel Road is the masterpiece, and it's hard to argue with that. But I'll tell you what, I only got this on vinyl a couple of years ago. And listen to the record in its entirety because my favorite Lucinda song is Passionate Kisses. I get the record, and now this has got my two favorite. So Passionate Kisses is number 1. Number 2 for me is Price to Pay.
Okay.
Yep.
The drumming on Price to Pay, I could listen to that song 20, 30 times in a row and not be bored. So it's got
what else is on that side? Side 2.
Passionate Kisses.
Yep.
Am I too blue?
Am I too blue for you? That's a killer too.
Crescent City about my brother knows all the best bars.
Yes. Yeah.
Side of the Road, Price to Pay.
Yeah.
Incredible. One of the most incredible songs ever written. And then a Howlin' Wolf song closes it out. I asked for water. He gave me gasoline.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, man.
Crescent City, man.
Yeah.
What a bad, you know what?
Well, and I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. It's a terrible thing I'm about to do. I'm a horrible human being. I'm not reducing her work. I promise. But man, her on that cover too. Her leather jacket. She's just she's just the hottest thing on the planet.
She's the coolest thing on the planet.
She's so cool. And
so cool.
She might have been usurped, though. I went to see Courtney Barnett Do you guys know Courtney Barnett?
I know the name.
Know the name, yeah.
Oh my God. I went to see her about a month ago here at the Majestic.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to see Kurt Vile Thursday, and they made a record
Yep.
together in 2017. It's very good. Might be my favorite thing. I like them both separately. Them together might be the best thing I've ever heard of any of their stuff.
Wow.
Saw her, Courtney Barnett, coolest chick on the planet.
Wow.
Left-handed lesbian from Australia.
I love it.
Plays guitar. It's just bass, her on guitar, and a drummer.
Cool.
And she's just always got, sort of like a shaggy haircut, t-shirt, jeans. She's not trying to impress anybody. It's all 1,000,000,000% about the music, about the songs. I'm telling you, man,
so is Lucinda, right? I mean, same thing.
Courtney Barnett. I cannot say enough about her as a performer and a lot of her records. Yeah.
Wow.
If you get a chance to read Lucinda's book, Don't Tell Anyone the Secrets I Told You, I think it's called. Great, read it. But if I have had some eye issues, so I'm a audiobook guy. She narrates it, and her speaking voice. Her speaking voice is so good that when the book, I was done with it, it's only happened to me twice. With Lucinda's book, when it was done, I was disappointed that she wasn't going to be talking to me anymore.
Yep.
And my other one was Wayne Kramer from the MC5. He narrated his own book, and it was just kick ass, man. It was just, I was sad when it was done.
I got to say, I'm sad and embarrassed to say I've only seen Lucinda once. I know
I've never seen her.
Never seen her either.
Oh, you haven't? She's had some health problems, so I know she isn't touring as much, I think. I saw her in 2003 at the Michigan Theater in Ann Arbor with another one of my all-time favorite bands, the Jayhawks, opening.
Oh,
it was just off the hook.
The Jayhawks are I own more Jayhawks albums, singles, bootlegs, than anything.
I've met those guys a couple times. Like on my old flip phone, I've got a selfie from about 2010 or 11, me and Gary Loris after the show.
Gary Loris to me, and I play guitar. I dabble in the guitar a little bit. Gary Loris to me is like, he's like my Jimmy Page. It's that. As a kid, when I got Hollywood Town Hall, inside the cover, there's a picture of like maybe their rehearsal room, but you can see Gary Loris's amp, and he had a fuzz face pedal. Like I went out and bought both those things and gigged with them for like the next 10 years. My sound was Gary Loris's sound. I stole it from him because I just think he's a genius.
Well, when you think about his guitar, even if he weren't a singer and songwriter, if he could just play guitar like he does, he'd be a very indie man session guitarist.
And plus a singer too. He can sing.
That's what I'm saying. And he writes all that stuff and sings it. I'm going to tell you guys one. This is funny but kind of true. So I was dating somebody, for a few months. I thought it was going somewhere, and it's recently fizzled out. But in April, I took her to Toronto for her birthday, and Gary Loris was playing a solo show. We got in on Friday afternoon. He was playing a solo show in Toronto at some tiny venue about a half mile from where we were staying. And I really wanted to go, and she didn't want to. All I have to say is good riddance.
Yeah. I don't try to comment on people's romantic lives, but I think you're going to be just fine.
Can you imagine having that a half mile away from you and you don't want to go?
Oh,
no, because his solo albums are pretty good too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
True Blues, a great song. Want to Get High off. I can't think.
He produces too.
And don't even get me started on Golden Smog.
Oh, yeah.
A buddy of mine and I went to see him in Chicago. I guess they get together every year. I didn't know that. And they got together in New York and Chicago last December. And my buddy and I grabbed tickets as soon as I saw him. And a buddy of mine and I went to see him in Chicago at the Vic Theater.
Oh, yeah.
1,400 people.
Perfect.
I'll tell you what, Scott, you guys ought to go with me this year. I'm doing it again this year if they're playing.
So my God, that would be awesome. I'm such a fan of all that's my genre, first of all. I love all that stuff. And
Yeah.
I saw on it would have been on the Tomorrow the Green Grass tour. I saw the Jayhawks, Soul Asylum, Victoria
Oh,
Williams, Matthew Sweet, I
oh,
think.
oh.
In
I'm a
one
huge,
day. And it was
I'm a,
down at Pine Knob. It
I'm
was
a
down at
huge Matthew Sweet fan too.
Oh man, he was
I've
great.
met him. I've met him a couple times. I don't
I
know
bet
how
he's the
far we can
coolest.
digress here with stories, but I've met Matthew Sweet a couple times. Yeah.
I bet he was the
He's,
coolest. Yeah.
oh,
God, man, good stuff. Now I'm lost in my roots rock stuff.
all right.
Scott, what do you got next? You
Duran, Rio.
dude, that's a look, hold that up again. That is so stylized, dude. Like that cover has just been shit. There was tons of stuff in the 80s that looked just like that. Like
This
that.
was my aunt. This was my aunt's copy. I got it when she passed.
Oh man.
New Religion, Last Chance on a Stairway, and my all-time two favorite Duran Duran songs in a row: Save a Prayer and The Chauffeur.
Save a Prayer. Yeah. Man, that's side two. What's on side one of that, Scott? Obviously, Rio. What else? Are there more singles on there?
Yeah, Rio, My Own Way, Lonely in Your Nightmare, Hungry Like the Wolf, and then Hold Back the Rain.
Yeah. Boy,
it's interesting. It's interesting, Scott, that you pick side two because the hits, came off of side one.
Side one,
right?
Yeah. And is that one too? I mean, I'm sure. Back in the day, you probably had it on cassette tape, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's probably one you bought for Hungry Like the Wolf and Rio, and you flip it over and you're like, oh my God, there's good stuff over here. Yeah. That's fun too.
That's good.
That's like getting another album almost, right? I bought it because I love this single, and then you're like, holy crap, side two is even better. Yeah, I love that. I love when that happens. Okay, my next pick. Three songs on side two of this album.
Oh.
They are Houses of the Holy, Trampled Underfoot, and Kashmir. It's Physical Graffiti by Led Zeppelin. Dude, three songs. And it's, those are, and that's, Physical Graffiti's a little later in the Zeppelin, the first four Zeppelin albums, of course, are the blueprint. But still, these are still great songs that, they didn't have, obviously, the career. Who knows what we would have had, if John Bonham had lived. Maybe, Led Zeppelin would be playing the fair. I think about that, about Hendrix or Jim Morrison or Zepp, like, would they all of a sudden, would we be like, hey, man, tickets are $2 at the grocery store if you turn in this, and you can go see Led Zeppelin at the, Cherry Festival or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I just thought for, getting into their career, and those three songs are, Houses of the Holy is a killer song.
Yeah.
Trampled Underfoot. It's just, and of course, what's the line from Fast Times at Ridgemont High? Of course, they get it wrong. If you ever remember where they're talking about, when it comes to making out, you put on side two of Led Zeppelin 4, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then they actually play the song Kashmir.
Yes.
Which is that bothered me as a kid.
He must not have had that record.
I don't know. That was the kind of stuff that bothered me as a kid. Like that took me out of my moment in the movie. Yeah. Like, that's not on side two.
Yeah.
All right. Joe, what do you got next?
So let me just add to what you were saying about a lot of records I couldn't even consider because, from call it mid-late 80s till for a 25-year period, stuff was on cassette or CD. So instead of having 8 or 9 or 10 songs, you'd have 14 or 15 songs. And how do you define what's side one and side two? So, I focused on, I had a few reissues that were 4 sides, right?
Right.
So I thought, okay, I just got to eliminate those. So the way we listen to music over the last 30 or 40 years is
so different.
Changed. So this is also one of my favorite records of all time. The whole record is fantastic, but push comes to shove, I got to go with side two, Neil Young After the Gold Rush.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. Yeah.
So Oh Lonesome Me, which is what, a Don Gibson song.
Don Gibson cover, yeah. Played
then
that in a band.
Don't let it bring you down.
Yeah.
When You Dance, I Can Really Love,
Yep.
which is to me
Great
one
tune.
of his most underrated
God,
songs.
it's a great album.
To me, that's up there with like Cinnamon Girl in terms of a rocker,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I Believe in You and Cripple Creek Ferry.
Yeah. I wonder, and I don't know if that vinyl album will say it. Does it say what studio that was recorded at?
I missed a song here because it's blackened out on the back. It's bird, so it's "Oh Lonesome Me," "Don't Let It Bring You Down," "Birds,"
Oh, Birds.
which
Yeah.
is a cool song. "When You Dance, I Can Really Love," "I Believe in You," "Cripple Creek Ferry."
I feel like some of that was done at Sound City. I feel like it was. I don't quote me on that, but I feel like Neil did some work at Sound City on After the Gold Rush. I don't know.
I don't know. It just says Warner Brothers,
Yeah.
Burbank, California.
Yeah. Cool. What a cool album. Well, again, Neil Young is for me is another one of those,
Yeah, and
those guys.
it's my by far my favorite Neil Young record too. So.
I really do. And it's funny. There's so much stuff in Neil's body of work that I love, and I forget about. So I forget about Winterlong, how much I love that song, or I'll forget how much it's just there's so much stuff. And I'm still a guy who liked This Note's for You, and that when he did that in that era, I don't know.
Pretty sure that was recorded at Sunset Sound.
What one? After the Gold Rush?
After the Gold Rush, yeah.
That could be. I feel the only reason I brought it up is I feel like I saw in that documentary Sound City, they mentioned something about that album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was recorded at Sunset Sound. But...
Yeah. I feel like something was done at Sound City, but don't quote me on that.
And I saw him. I've seen him a couple times. The first time was on the Rust Never Sleeps tour in '78.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the good one. That's killer.
At Pine Knob. And it was like it was yesterday, him dressed in just like a white, like painter's pants and a t-shirt with Adidas. He had Adidas running shoes on. And then he had all those, monks with the glowing eyes dancing.
The road eyes. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was,
wow.
He's something else, man.
I think was that the tour with like the big amps up there.
I don't remember.
Yeah, that's killer, man. All right, Scott, what do you got?
My last one, Boz Scaggs.
Ooh, I love that record.
And it's from Silk Degrees, side 2, Lowdown. It's Over, which was the single. Love Me Tomorrow, Lido Shuffle, which is one of my favorites.
Yep, big hit.
Yeah.
And then We're All Alone. I love this.
Oh, yeah. That's killer.
Yeah, I mean, it's still influential. I texted you when Butch Walker's new record came out that he stole the beginning of the song. It's like, this sounds very Lido Shuffle-y.
Yes, you did. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That whole side, isn't it like Jeff Porcaro and all those guys on that record?
Yeah.
Yep.
So the musicianship is just stellar.
Back when those guys were kind of the wrecking crew of that era, really.
Yeah, Porcaro is outstanding.
My son is just fanatical.
Yeah, that's a great time.
And my last one, I often have attributed a quote about this that I thought was about this album. I'm not sure it is, but at some point in their career, I thought John Lennon called side 2 of Abbey Road Bits of Shit.
It's my favorite.
It's my favorite too.
I almost, you know what, guys? I have it sitting right here because I thought, you know what I got to do is that's too obvious. I've got to pull it out because somebody else is going to have it.
Oh, it's so good.
It's incredible.
And here's the thing is, first of all, obviously Here Comes the Sun is on it. And then, I mean, it's the medley. It's the 16-minute medley of stuff that really, as a kid, because I've been a Beatle fan, that was my first band. First album, vinyl albums I owned. It was all Beatle. I owned the entire catalog. But they're like Carry That Weight is just a great song on its own. And then you've got like Golden Slumbers. for a guy like me, I mean, She Came In Through the Bathroom Window that's proto hard rock. That's a hard rock song. Dung 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 dung
Yep.
dung dung. That cool intro. Um, and the other thing is, like, Mean Mr. Mustard was on there, which appealed to me as a kid, of course. You never give me your money.
Money.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
carry that weight. I mean, just
It's well.
it's
Then
an
when
incredible.
you add to the fact that it was the last time they recorded together. This
Yeah.
is the last thing they
Yep.
recorded, even though it came out before Let It Be.
Let
Right?
It Be, right?
They reversed the order. But when you think that's the last notes these guys made together, it's
Right.
wild. And my mom's memorial was on May 16th. At the cemetery. We had 45 or 50 people out there. I gave her eulogy and I quoted, I said, and in the end, the love you take is
Yeah.
equal to the
Oh,
love
man.
you make. I actually quoted that. It
Yeah.
was tough. It was tough to get that out, but
I
I
can
did.
imagine. I can imagine. Wow. And there you go. I mean, that's the thing. That's as iconic as it can be. And I mean, if we're going to talk about albums, we also, and you held it up. I mean, the lore, the cover, the 28F license plate, the Paul is Dad, the whole thing, man, was just something else. And I still look at that album cover. I still look at those pictures, that picture of those guys, and you can see them. You can see their personalities in a way, and how they fit into the Beatle, whatever you want to call it, the Beatle culture. But oh man, yeah.
It always cracks me up when you get people music lovers who try to demean the Beatles
Oh my God, yes.
or minimize their influence or say, they weren't that great, or how can you say they're the best band ever? And it's like, music's subjective. You can say,
sure,
you know what? My nephew's garage band is the greatest band in the world.
Right.
They're my favorite band. That's great. But you can't, a sane person cannot argue their greatness, their influence. I mean, it's mind-boggling.
That's the thing is, because everybody who talks about the Beatles, we're talking about a world that has the Beatles. You're talking about the world that has a Beatles in it. You almost, to really have that perspective, and I don't have it, but you got to remember a world without the Beatles. Right. And that's the change. And I used this quote on the show a million times. It's hard to think about a world without a Beatles, right? Or Elvis Presley or whatever. Lemmy Kilmister from Motorhead is the guy who said he remembers. He goes, I remember before there was rock and roll, before Elvis, when it was Rosemary Clooney songs, right? That was the standards. For me, it's just like, we could probably stack up, I don't know how many albums. And if someone was hooked up to, a machine that made them tell the truth, you would go, did you think this was your Sergeant Pepper? And they would go, yes, because everyone thinks they've got one, right? Everyone thinks somewhere in them they have this creative spurt of a Beatle-esque, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band or Pet Sounds or whatever it is. And the hunt for that thing has killed many great bands.
Yeah.
Great rock and roll bands who all of a sudden go, well, I must have a symphonic, masterpiece in me. And it turns out you don't, right? Thank God AC/DC never went, well, we must have a Sergeant Pepper in us. They just went, fuck it, we're AC/DC,
Take it or leave it.
Yeah, right. Wow. Well, gentlemen, I was panicked about this. I was panicked about this subject, but boy, it's probably, I don't know about our listenership, but certainly you could argue that you could speak to a younger person and go, hey, let's talk about side twos. And they'd go, what is side two? What are you talking about?
Well,
right.
Remember, we did the show on track ones.
Right.
And
well, it's been many, many years now, but I was in a room full of younger people. And I've told this story before, I don't think on the show, and it would happen. Like a CD would skip, remember CDs would skip. You'd get, especially mine, because I carried them everywhere in a book and
Yeah.
dropping them from time to time.
Yeah.
But a CD started to skip, and I stomped my foot on the floor. And I laughed. I thought I was the funniest guy on the planet. And not a single kid in the room, like, what are you laughing at? Well, I'd stomped on the floor to stop the CD from skipping, because that's what you did when your record would skip. You'd stomp on the floor and jump the needle over that section, and it'd play on. You know, you'd be at a party and not want to, so you'd stomp on the floor, and that's just more of that. I'm sure at some point we'll be going, hey, let's talk about your favorite CD, and someone will be going, what are you talking about? What's a CD? Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
I don't
it's
even,
like
I don't buy music. It gets implanted in my head at the store.
I don't remember who said this to me. It was a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about buying physical media, and this guy said to me, "You can't roll a joint on a download."
Oh man, that's the best quote I've ever. You can't separate stems and seeds on a download. That's for sure. Excellent. Joe, thank you so much for being here, man. What a treat. You'll have to come back. You'll have you back. We'll have you back. We'll get another topic. We'll do our we'll definitely, I can already tell we're gonna have to have more of these Lucinda Williams Jayhawks conversations for sure.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
thank you for being here, my friend. Thank you so much.
This is a blast. Scott, thanks for asking me.
Yeah, and I'll thank you for Scott there. His love of jazz and his as rounded as he is in his music tastes, your influence was not lost on him. So
thanks. And I'll see Scott. We're going to go see the old 97s in Kalamazoo in August.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. God, I love them too. We could go on. I've
never seen them. So I'm
excited.
Man,
they're great. I saw them with, actually I took my wife, who still talks about this. I took my wife to go see the old 97s in a band called Slobberbone that I really like. And much like the Replacements used to do and Wilco did early on, these guys came out from the back with the deli tray and threw it in the crowd. And my new girlfriend, who doesn't like Americana, doesn't like any of this stuff, gets nailed with a sandwich right on her shirt. And she's like, this is stupid. These guys are stupid. I don't want to be here. You know, I'm like, yeah, welcome to the world of alt country, my dear.
Yeah.
So, all right. You got any parting words for us, Scott?
She was into the Stones when I was into the Roses.
Oh, thanks. See you guys. Thanks.
See you next time, everybody.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks again, guys.